All right, now, as we've been telling you all morning, this is a Webkinz. It looks like a run-of-the-mill stuffed animal, but it's not, because it comes with a secret code that lets you log onto a website and adopt it, and kids as young as 3 years old are hooked. We called 70 stores in search of Webkinz, and they were all sold out. So we had to borrow our Webkinz this morning from the children of 2020's Deborah Roberts, who joins us now. Okay.
Elizabeth.
Leela and Nikki are hooked too?
Well, Leela's pretty much into it, and Nikki's beginning. You say mania, and mania is about right. These little guys are becoming so popular that some schools, believe it or not, are actually banning them, calling them a distraction. But can something as innocent and silly looking as these actually be bad for your kids?
Jumbo, Pegasus, Han Solo, Jesse, Doggy, Chewie, and Kitty.
We got 300 Webkinz on Monday. We sold them in a day.
90 times a day. Do you have any Webkinz?
Retailers can't keep them on the shelves. When a long overdue shipment of Webkinz finally arrived at the house in Millburn, New Jersey, they were snapped up in 2 hours.
Webkinz are a real big craze right now in the youth market. They merge together online gaming communities, plush toys that kids love to nurture, and interacting together on the internet.
Well, you can play with them on the computer, or you can play with them as stuffed animals. I sleep with them in my bed when they aren't on the computer.
Oh, wow!
Here's how it works. On Webkinz.com, kids play games to earn Kinz Cash, a kind of online currency. They use it to buy food, clothes, and toys for their animal's online home. The children are responsible for keeping their pets healthy.
I like to buy them stuff. Buy them trampolines, sometimes they could jump on them. And I feed them healthy food.
It's this complete virtual world that keeps some kids glued to their computers for hours at a stretch.
There's so much stuff you can do on the website, and there's so much stuff you can do with the animal itself.
But some parents feel conflicted about their children's extended time online, wondering if they're addicted.
Yeah.
It's, one more thing to distract them from going outside or reading a book.
My kids are on the computer from the moment they get home from school until I threaten them that if they don't get off and do their homework, they won't be allowed back on the computer.
Well, it turns out Webkinz Pets aren't the only online option for children out there. In fact, there are many others that claim to teach kids everything from reading to geography. But of course, Elizabeth, the big question is getting online at such an early age really the appropriate thing for your children? And that's what a lot of parents are grappling with.
It's a big question. Anne Plachette Murphy, our parenting contributor, is here to help us out with that. And a lot of parents might be thinking, hey, at least it's not a television they're sitting in front of.
Well, I think that's actually valid. It's certainly more interactive than sitting in front of the tube for hours on end. But the big issue is that question of balance. Kids, very young children, they need play that utilizes all of their senses. And my big problem with a lot of these interactive games on a screen is it's a two-dimensional experience. You're moving a mouse, that's it. What's nice about Webkinz is they have an opportunity offline to, make a house for their Webkinz, to figure out that, this bottle cap would be a good dish.
Right.
That kind of imaginative, undirected play is really important when kids are young for their brain development.
But in the meantime, this game, this toy, has directed children to something called the Webkinz Clubhouse, which is a chat room. And to be honest, it sounds suspiciously like MySpace.
Well, it's kind of training wheels for that, except that it's very highly, structured. They can't write their own messages. But you're right. I think that socialization and the kind of interactive action that kids should be happening on the playground when they're that age, not on the screen or online. But that being said, if you are monitoring your kid, if you're limiting this kind of activity to, let's say, an hour a day, and that's not easy to do because they get really obsessed with this, then I think, you're going to be fine. I just think what's scary about any of these fads is that kids at 6, 7, 8 years old become really overwhelmed with the need to get online and feed their pet and make sure the pet is happy and not hungry, and that can ruin somebody's vacation.
I know, it's true.
I heard recently someone whose kid
took their computer with them on vacation. But limits, I think, is the key, because in my household it's limited, and it doesn't seem to be the same kind of mania for us.
And I think also if you encourage them to do, again, the kind of normal play with their little stuffed animals offline, that's great. I think that's one of the nice things about this phenomenon.
Anne Plachette Murphy, Deborah Roberts.
You're going to hear more about these.
Good luck with it. I know. My 4-year-old probably never. All right. Thanks so much.